What's up, Hyperdrivers? Welcome back to the channel. A few months back, you guys witnessed my epic meltdown when I unboxed Sideshow's General Grievous 6-scale figure. You can see that his legs don't even stay up and the arm fell off. I mean, this is why I have issues buying from Sideshow. Yeah, it wasn't pretty. So what did I do? I went in for an even bigger 1/4 scale General Grievous statue from Sideshow. What can I say? I guess I'm made to suffer.
It's our lot in life.
In this episode, I'm gonna tell you everything you really need to know before making this purchase, including one thing that I wish I knew before I bought it. I'm gonna put it all together, hopefully without too much trouble. This feels, I'll tell you what, man, this is scary. Oh my God, that is scary, man. It's like falling right off. It's Sideshow after all. And finally, I'm gonna go over my thoughts on this statue. Did I make another Grievous mistake? Let's find out. Thanks for joining me for another big statue unboxing. Now I'm going to share with you guys the things that you should know before making this purchase, including one thing that I wish I knew before I bought it. But before I do that, I put Star Wars content on this channel weekly. And if you're into Star Wars like I am, please consider liking, subscribing, and turn on notifications so you can jump to Lightspeed every week with us right here on the Hyperdrive. So the first very important thing that you need to know is this thing comes in a huge shipper box. I'm talking Prime 1 Studios statue shipping box size. The box size is 33 inches by 20 inches by 26 inches, which makes it very difficult to put inside of your average car and increase the cost of shipping. So I highly suggest that you buy this one either at Sideshow or at your local comic book store. You know, hopefully it'll save you some shipping costs. I myself bought this one at Bits and Buttons because it's the greatest toy store in South Florida. They have all kinds of vintage toys, and now they also have hot toys and statues, and they ship worldwide. So I love going down there. So I went there and I'm confronted with my statue box. It looked like it got kicked down the street by Ace Ventura. It was all beat up. Thankfully though, Sideshow packed this thing in this extra thick foam to protect the art box. So the art box had no damage, and once I got it out, I was actually able to slide it into the trunk, and I just broke down the shipper box and that was it. The second thing you should know is that Sideshow packed this statue in a way that's gonna be very difficult, very hard pressed for anyone to get it back in the box the way it came out. Pieces were not just put in the places in the foam, but they were actually wrapped in like a saran wrap. Some of the foam pieces were actually taped to it. Little pieces of foam were stuffed in between all of the different parts. So trying to get it back in the box is gonna be very difficult. At least for me, if I ever decide to move this down the road, it's gonna be a local pickup all the way. All right, and then lastly, the one thing that I wish I knew before I bought this thing is that these pieces of Grievous are all made of plastic. It feels very, very flimsy, very lightweight, and very cheap. So that's something that if you're expecting, especially for the $900 price point that this is on, if you're expecting something that is resin and that is heavy, the only thing that is heavy in this statue is the base itself. All of the other little pieces that make up Grievous are all plastic. So keep that in mind. All right, it's time to unbox and assemble this statue. But before I do, please hit that like button if you're finding this information helpful so far, and let's go. Things first, let's get this base up. This thing's heavy. It is a huge freaking base. Woo! This one is number 523 of only 2,000. So they made 2,000 of this General Grievous. Next, we got the body. And in comparison to the base, this feels like paper. So it keys into the base and 2 points. Right here and right back here are your key points. Jeez, this feels, I'll tell you what, man, this is scary. Come on, I feel like this foot here is jammed. There we go. All right, the arms with the lightsaber, they come in hand. Again, everything here feels like plastic. Looks like you got an orange color coding. So, no, that don't fit that way. Yeah, that's how it goes. So the orange tip that's on this is actually gonna stick out. All right, next we have the yellow side, which has a lot smaller key. This feels super flimsy. Look, even the parts, man, look at this. There it goes. All right, now we have one of the other 4 arms. You can see that this one also has the orange. Oh my God, that is scary, man. This looks like it's gonna fall right off. Try something else here. Let's take it off altogether. Okay, feels a little better. Man, this is scary as hell. I feel like the arm is just gonna fall off one of these days. All right, I'm freaking out, man. So this is the final connection. And what's worse is that first of all, is that the peg hole on this one the peg is super small. Like it almost looks like it broke off. And then on this side, you have a gaping hole. It's definitely got some play. All right, and then you have two of these plates, and they're also color coded. So here's the black one, and that's gonna go in like that. Wow. That does not feel strong at all. And the red one goes on this side. The red one feels stronger, but the black one feels kind of like it's just sitting there. All right, so the cape's cool. It's got a clasp on this side here that you can open and close to get around his neck. And then it feels like there's a wire running down the entire cape. So that's kind of neat. All right, so let's, this is gonna be fun trying to get this on with all these lightsabers around it. So the issue is right down in here. You can see that this back plate is actually touching this plate here. So getting the cape inside there, that's gonna be a challenge. So let's see if we can do it. I'm close. I'm really, really close. Ah, damn it. I was so close. All right. Yeah, I think I got it. There, now the neck piece is showing. All right, and then lastly, we got General Grievous's head. Be extremely careful handling the General Grievous head. You could see that wobbling I have there in the side wings. When you pull it out of the box, it almost feels like the parts kind of like grab at things, you know? So you just want to be real careful getting it out because all of this is super delicate. All right, and then it's gonna peg right into that key right here. Looks like it just sits in there. Yeah, there's not even a magnet that holds it in place. I mean, look at that. All right, last thing to do is do a little cape posing and we are good to go. So let's get to it. It actually looks pretty damn cool though. All right, there it is, the General Grievous premium format figure, the new one. This thing is badass, guys. It does look freaking badass. It's flimsy as all hell. It's fragile. I did not like the assembly on this thing at all. It is the scariest statue I've ever had to put together, but it's cool. It does look pretty cool. Let's go over some of the dimensions because this thing is big. You're gonna need some space for this guy. So this thing is 19 inches wide, almost 20 inches wide. You're gonna need about 30 inches in height at the very tip of the highest lightsaber. And it is about 17, 18 inches deep. So it can get into a Besta barely, but you're gonna have to get the shelves raised. I think this thing would look better on a pedestal or standing on its own. It's a very grand piece, especially with the size of the base being like this. It's very, very big. I like the dynamic pose of this one. I always have when I first saw it, and I was even more impressed by it when I saw it at both Celebration and at San Diego Comic-Con. So I'm happy with the look of it. As far as assembly goes, packaging and all that, it's not that fun. The packaging, unboxing this thing was a pain in the ass, unwrapping all of the saran wrap, all of the tape that taped things down, and I get it was meant to keep things secure. I just wish they made this thing out of some other material. You can even see that it shakes as I sit here and look at this. I can't even touch the table and it starts to wobble. Also, because of the material that they use, I'm looking at some of these lightsabers and they're bending a little bit because of the heat. So there's that. This is probably not something you want to keep near any kind of window or in any hot space because I imagine there's going to be some warping. I do think also light up features. I wish that you had light up lightsabers. That would have set this thing, you know, to the next level. That would have been something really cool. It does have some black light features in the base, which is very, very neat. And I like that they came up with that. I think that's a really cool idea. let's talk about where this statue comes from. So the composition of this piece looks like it comes right out of the beginning of Revenge of the Sith. This looks like the command deck of his ship when Anakin and Kenobi were fighting him. Even though in that scene they really didn't fight him like that, he didn't, reveal his forearms until later on in the movie. The lightsabers that he's holding in his hand, I think they're close to being accurate to what the lightsabers that he had. He does have one that resembles the Kenobi lightsaber, which is this one right here. This one here kind of resembles the Anakin saber, except that the rabbit ears are black. And the other two lightsabers, I think, look a little bit different too. So I think maybe Sideshow took a little bit of liberty with the color of the lightsabers for accuracy. I like how he's standing on all this, and he's kind of like his feet are destroying what's left of this command center controls. The base has all kinds of really nice weathering in it. I like that you can see the grime and the scratched areas of metal all come through. And you have these seared off areas in the back, which looks like lightsabers attacked it, and it made for those type of cuts, which all come off really, really nice. The armor areas on him himself also look good. You have all kinds of different colors. This looks almost like bone material in the way it's painted. You have some grime and buildup all in the lower parts of the feet. Things that make it look like he's been in battle. He doesn't look clean at all in any area whatsoever. They did a fantastic job on the painting. The cape. Really, really nice material that they used here on the cape. I like that there's a wire running through all of the edge around the bottom, so that way it gives you the ability to pose the cape the way that you want to. The cape is kind of heavy, so it can't really do well with hanging on its own, but it is really nice material and it screams quality. The inside of his internals here, you don't really see that all that well. It's kind of like very, very dark. I kind of wish they would have done a little bit more like what they did with their 6-scale figure, where it was kind of on the greenish side and you could actually see some of those features. While there is details in there, they're not very noticeable when you look at it. I think they did a great job on the portrait. I think that looks really good. He looks like General Grievous and everything. It is very, very, very delicate, and I don't like that it's not magnetized on here, and you can see that the head kind of turns a little bit. So I kind of wish they would have had some kind of magnet that locks in place a little better. All I can really say about this statue is that the look of the statue is fantastic, but the build quality, in my opinion, is subpar for what the price point of the statue is. That's my thoughts on it. I'm gonna leave a link to the original 6-scale video if you guys wanna see my meltdown on that figure, and then also some other Star Wars unboxings for you guys to check out if you're interested. Thanks for joining me. Leave a comment below what you think about this statue. I'm always interested to hear what you guys think. And until next time, may the Force be with you.